Hello guys. Today we will make a simple modal using HTML, CSS and vanilla JavaScript. This is the final product. And you will see how is easy to make this. So let's begin. Let's open Visual Studio Code. Inside I have already boilerplate, HTML boilerplate, and I have included a style sheet and a script. So let's begin with the first. We will add the main element. Inside the main element we will have a button and let's right click me, for example. After we will add a div with a class of modal and ID of modal. Inside we will have a paragraph with some text, and after we will add a span with the ID of close modal, and inside HTML entity for the X. So this is what we have right now. Let's close this and continue with our part. So we are done with the HTML. Next, let's go in the style. First, let's add a background to the body. And let's add let's make this a little smaller so you can see, and let's add some font family. This is looking nicer. Next is the main element. Let's add a height 100 VH and add a display grid. We will use a display grid so we can easily center this the elements inside our body element. Let's justify content to the center and align content to the center. Now everything is centered. Next is a style of a button. Let's make it a little smaller with 150 pixels. Let's add some padding, 10 pixels on the top button and 15 pixels on the right and left. Let's see. Okay, let's remove border, none, background color of blue violet, and the color white. let's add a border radius, for example 3 pixels, and lastly let's add a cursor to pointer, and that's it, I think. Let's continue. Our next part is the modal. Let's add a max width 1000 pixels. Padding 100 pixels on top and the bottom, and 50 pixels on the right and left, and the background color of white. Nice. Let's add a box shadow. 10 pixels, 15 pixels on 10 pixels spread, and edge and the color will 0 black, and alpha level 0.1. That's looking nice. Next we will need to add a position to relative, so we can move this X to the right and the top. Position relative. Next let's style our span. Position to absolute. Top 10 pixels and right 10 pixels. Let's see. Okay, let's add some background color to this. Increase the size with pixels and height roughly pixels. Border radius 50%. Text align to center, and line height 30 pixels. Okay, and lastly let's add a cursor to be pointer. Okay, our next step is to add a modal to display to none. And we have just a button right now, but when we click on the button we will open the modal. So we are done with the CSS for now. Let's continue with the script. First we need to select our button and add an event listener to it. So let's add our button. Button is equal to document dot query selector button. We have only one button, so we can choose it. We will I need to change this to but, and next is to add button add event listing. Click. When we click on the button, we will show the model. So let's add a function, show model, to select model first, const model is equal to document get element value id model, and then in this function model style display to none to block. Let's now check it. Okay, we will need to remove the button, so button style display none. Okay, but we can remove the model right now. We need to add an event listing to this X, and when we click on it, model we will remove and the button will show up. So let's choose our span in our script. So when we click on hide model, we need to add an event listener to hide model, and we will listen to the click event. When we click, then we will hide model. Let's add function hide model, and let's copy this just to files and just change to the none, and button for model we will remove model, and we will show the button. Let's check it now. And I have forgot to add this function here. So let's see it now. OK. And the last is to add event list to the main element. When we click on the main, the modal we will hide the modal and show the button. We will do that by adding it to event listener to the window, and we will listen to the click event. Then we can use an anonymous function. We will add an event. We will add an event in the parameter. So next step is to check if the event dot target is equal to main. If it's a true, then we will hide the modal and show the button. Let's save and check this. And something is wrong here. Yeah, I forgot to add reference to the main. So we need to choose the main, add it to the global scope, const main is equal to document query selector, and choose main, and let's check it now. Cool. Lastly, we could add this little bit animation to show it a little bit nicer. So let's back to the CSS and add keyframes from the 0%. Opacity will be 0, and on 100% opacity will be 1. Let's add this animation. Let's firstly add a name to this animation. Let's call it modal open. And add this animation to the modal. Add time. So for example 0.3 seconds. Let's check it now, and this is looking better. That is all folks for today. You can also download this from my website. The download link will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.